Hello, Britney.
Hi.
You look all smiley, giggly. All is forgiven with the three guys in the house?
Well, you know, it's not all is forgiven. Obviously, I'm out of the house because of it, and that's upsetting, but I do think that we have a genuine friendship, and
when you say
outside of the game, I'm now outside of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say that I love them all dearly. So
every single one of them. Do you feel?
Oh wait, of the ones left.
Oh, the ones left. Yes,
Yeah.
Very clear on that one. How did you come to terms with what Lane did, keeping you in the dark about this Brigade alliance?
It was really, really hard, but honestly, with Lane, for some reason, it wasn't as hard because I really can believe that he had good intentions. I really do believe that he wanted us to go to the final two, and he wanted, you know, he and I to do as well as we possibly could. I think that if he had to, he would have chosen me over the Brigade. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know right now, but that really is what I believe. So especially with Lane, it was just easier because I did have a chance to save myself and us with the HOH and with the POV, and I just didn't.
And why do you believe him? Just because you feel like you've spent 68 days in the house with this guy, and you really feel a bond with him?
I do. I just don't think he would lie to me about it. I think that especially when they came clean and it was kind of all out in the open, that really would have been a time where he could have just said to me, "Hey, look, yeah, sorry, nope, you know, see ya." But he had no reason to lie to me about it anymore, and he told me, you know, I would have.
Well, you're going to the jury. You know, there's that, right? In Big Brother, you never know if you're being lied to or played, or if what your gut tells you is real or not. Mm-hmm. We definitely all saw a bond between you and Lane.
Yeah.
If you were not engaged, would we have seen another couple in the house other than Brendan and Rachel?
No. Lane is like my big brother. No. Julie!
You don't think? Okay, wait. You don't think Lane has a crush on you?
No.
Who here thinks Lane?
No, that's not it.
And on the flip side, who here thinks Britney might have feelings for Lane?
He's like my older brother. Like, he treats me like a big brother. He pesters me. He annoys me. Gets on my nerves. He makes me mad. He's so irritated. He won't listen to anything I say.
But how much of that is because you went in and you told everyone, I have a fiance at home, and then he might have just said to himself, okay, she's off limits?
I don't know, but I'm glad it worked out the way it did, because I really feel like the friendships that I have with those guys is just awesome, like with all of them.
We've heard you say in the house that you've been locked away and you don't even know if you're engaged anymore. Why would you say that?
Because who knows what's going on in the world? What if I have like my fiance, I have a new girlfriend for him. She has a name. I've made up like an entire personality for her. Because when you sit in the house and you have nothing else to think about, these ideas just fester. So her name's Nicole, and she's a brunette. And she's like the complete opposite of me. She's real cool. She's not prissy. She likes to get dirty. Like, I have like a whole personality for this
All right,
girl.
so if Nicole comes to life and is real, then are you going to start a romantic relationship with Lane?
No! He is my big brother. He's my big brother.
Nick is your fiance, correct?
Yeah.
Is he going to like Lane?
I think Lane called him a bogey, which is a problem. I don't know. Surely he will. I mean, we were friends. He's friends with all my friends.
Let's talk about the other two guys. Did you feel betrayed by all three guys left in the house when they revealed this Brigade alliance to you?
No, I didn't feel betrayed by Enzo so much, because Enzo and I never really had any sort of alliance or, you know, any sort of agreement in the game. With Hayden, I did, because Hayden and I had talked about a final three, and Hayden was someone who I just felt like their word was good as gold. I believed everything that came out of his mouth. And I'm a huge fan of Big Brother. I've watched this show from the beginning, and I know not to trust people, but Hayden is the kind of person that you can't help but trust, because he's just such a good heart. Like, he's He's a good soul, and I believed everything that he said.
Do you think he was hedging his bets in case you won power in the House?
Oh, I'm sure, and that's smart gameplay. I think he probably was.
So you're not mad at him for playing this as a one-way street? Of course I'm mad at him, but at the same time, how mad can I be versus just jealous that I wasn't involved? I wish that on day one I would have got called up and been a part of the brigade and floated up through this game. Of course. I can see it from other perspectives besides just me personally. And as a huge fan of the show, I can see it from a viewer perspective and be like, oh, this is awesome, I love this. I think I would have loved the brigade. And as someone who was in the House, I'm a little jealous I was never involved. Why didn't you try and start an alliance of your own, maybe with Reagan and maybe even Matt?
Because I thought all the people in the House were a little too sketchy to really get involved with. Like, those guys I really felt were good people, and so that's why I did have the bond with them that I had, which got me to the Final Four. But everybody else, you know, you couldn't believe anything they said. I mean, Rachel wears those extensions. Like, are you gonna believe the words that come out of her mouth? Come on.
How do you feel about going to the jury house and joining her?
I'm devastated. Like, I'm devastated. I don't know how I can try to get out of it. Is there... I maybe have some sort of like illness that's like crazy contagious.
Are we going to see fireworks between the two of you in the house? Or now that the game is behind the two of you, maybe you'll get along.
No way. I'm going to walk in, she's going to be like, hey, Britney! Happy to see me? And I'm just going to look at Reagan and be like, really?
All right, what about Brendan? Because did he get easier to take once his girlfriend was evicted?
Okay, yes. I will say that Brendan was less horrific and disgusting once Rachel left. While Rachel was there, he was just like,
why? Why?
Intolerable.
Why?
Was the word we used.
Was it because they were power tripping, or were they just too mushy all over each other?
I think that he just she brings out the worst in him. And he was really willing to fall on his own sword for Rachel. And I think that that's why he became the person that he was, because he would rather her advance in the game than himself. So he wanted everyone to hate him. He wanted to be this vile person so that she could go further. I mean, whatever. That was his strategy. And obviously it didn't work for them, but,
what was your strategy? You outlasted all the other women.
I know. I like that.
You should be proud of it. You should feel good about that.
Thanks.
What was your strategy?
My strategy going in was very much not to overplay the game and to let everything just sort of happen organically. You know, let friendships happen organically, let any alliances just sort of come into being on their own, not to force anything. Because overplaying the game is, I think, what gets people evicted time after time after time. And that's what I did. I just kind of sat back and I would go with the tide and see where it would take me and just let everything just happen on its own. Don't force it.
If you could redo anything in this game, would you, and what would it be?
That's a good question, because there's probably a few things that I would do. Some of them more snarky than others.
More snarky?
Yeah.
Like?
I always do wish that we would have evicted Rachel week 1, even though Annie was the saboteur. When she showed up on the first day with that dollar bill sign ring, I should have known. Like, this girl's got to go. But I didn't, and then I ended up having to, bathe with her, so.
You were playing the game.
I know, I played it hard.
How much harder is it to play this game for real than sitting at home on your couch?
It's not even something I can begin to explain. I have done this as a fan for so many seasons. I will lay on my couch, I'm eating my ice cream, and I'm like, yeah, go faster. What's wrong with you? What are you doing? Get some adrenaline. It is so hard, just from not only the competition standpoint, the mental agony that is living in that house sometimes. It's so horrible. And I've always hated people who cry on this show, and I definitely cried, and I have a whole new understanding for this game.
What about a whole new understanding for yourself? Did you learn anything about yourself playing this?
I think I did. I think both good and bad. I definitely cry way too much, and I definitely am not an emotional warrior. But at the same time, I think that in some ways I am stronger than I thought I was. And in some ways I am, I don't know. You know, whenever you're living with some of the people I lived with, you just feel like a classier person. So,
care to name any names?
It makes me feel very classy sometimes. Like I would just be walking to the kitchen and I'd be like, wow, my pajamas look really classy right now compared to some of you guys.
There are 3 alpha males left in the house right now. What do you think's going to happen? Because, I mean, it's an alliance that got them this far.
Yeah.
But someone has to turn on someone else. Who do you think is going to take it to the end?
I think that right now they all know that, and they all know that only one person is going to win the game. And if I had to place my bets, I would say it's going to be Hayden. That's just like my personal opinion.
Why? Are you rooting for him?
Well, of course I'm rooting for Lane,
okay.
But, you know.
Why do you think Hayden's got what it takes to make it?
I think that Hayden is so intimidating to the other 2 guys right now.
Really?
That they are already mentally, he's won the game.
And that's so much of it in the Big Brother house, isn't it?
It really is.
Intimidation.
It really is. I think back to before I knew about the brigade and I thought that I was going to the final 3 with Hayden and Lane. Would I have played HOH and POV harder if I would have known there was no way that I would stay if I didn't win those competitions?
What are you going to do with this information about the brigade as you go to the jury house?
I think I'm definitely going to bust it out. I made a really cute shirt today that says Brigade Alternate. So I think I'm just going to wear that into the house. And on the back it says the blonde number 5, because there were 4 and I was 5. It's real cute. So I think I'm going to wear that into the house. And then when they ask me about it, I'm be like, you guys are all brigade casualties in your own right. And I'm definitely going to tell them.
You are not leaving this game empty-handed. You won $10,000.
Playing hide and seek. Like all the things I did this year, you know. I almost died in Carmel. I almost died at the hands of a wiener. And then I win 10 grand playing hide and seek.
Does that take any of the sting out of being evicted?
It does. It really does, because I would pout all the time that everybody had something but me. I'd be like, Enzo has his TV. Lane has his $91. Hayden, you know, Hayden, I know, got that vacation and that 5 grand. And I have nothing. I would pout about it all the time. So then when I won, that's when I was really happy. And I tried to even convince Lane to just give it to me. I'm like, look, you have 91 bucks. Give me the 10 grand. I have nothing. Like, let me have something.
Well, Britney, we really enjoyed watching you play Big Brother this summer. Thanks for being you.
Thank you.